Hi, I'm Candice Hughes, CEO of AdapTac Games, and I just wanted to talk today a little bit about some games that are already out there on the market that can be helpful and have some educational elements in it for your kids. So if you're wondering what they're playing and whether the games are helpful or could potentially be harmful, here's some suggestions for video games that you could look for that could actually give them a little bit of benefit. So one game that I wanted to talk about is called Spore, and I have the case here. And this is a game which involves planning skills. The kids have to start off with their character at a very embryonic type of life form, and then they have to do certain activities and actions to grow their character up, sort of evolve it into a more higher level organism, such as doing things like socializing with other nearby organisms, gaining religions, or building homes. And so each stage they have to kind of think out and plan what they want to do so that they can get the most points and build their creature and their character up to higher and higher levels, all the way through space travel, from being sort of barbarians with clubs and things like that. So it's kind of a fun game, and it can have some alternative benefits to it. Another game that I wanted to mention that you can easily find out in the market, and it's not a brand new game, so it's not going to be the highest cost game either, is a Portal series. This is Portal 2. There's also a Portal 1 game, and actually both Portal and the Spore games are for marked E, so they're for any age. You don't have to be worried about extreme violence or anything. This is for anyone age 10 and up. And so the Portal 2 game also has some elements of planning that you need to do in the game. There is some shooting at non-human creatures, but on the whole it does offer some planning benefits too. And I've heard a lot of people, even people who have ADHD, telling me, oh, this was the best game that I played. I really learned a lot, and I really felt like it helped me, and I got some benefits out of it. So while neither of these games is specifically designed to help people with planning skills, it does have some, each of them has some positive benefits. And then the third game that I'm going to mention, which also, like Portal and the Spore games, has some planning within the game, is called Civilization. This is Civilization 5, and there's a whole series of the Civilization games, and what's interesting about them is that they also have history woven within them, as well as having to plan. So again, it's a little bit like Spore in the way that you have to grow up your character, and you have to interact with other teams and other characters within the game. So you're essentially leading a group of people, which you also will do in the Spore game. But in the Civilization game, it's set in a more historical setting. So your character might be Julius Caesar, or Winston Churchill, or some other famous historical person or persona that you will use to lead and grow your team into learning about other capabilities, building and gathering assets, and interacting politically and in other ways with other groups within the game. So again, they all had some elements of planning in them, although they're not designed specifically to give you those skills. And then the last game that I wanted to mention is a kind of a fun game. It doesn't really specifically have any planning skills, but it could be advantageous if you have kids who have a lot of energy, maybe they're hyperactive or just high energy kids. And so this game is a Kung Fu, and it's for the Xbox Connect. And that game, the reason that I like it in terms of energy is that you have to actually do the actions within the game. So you're sort of interacting with the game by going through the motions. It is a kung fu game, so yes, you're doing kung fu kicks and hits on these characters that are your opponents in the game, but you're actually moving your arms and legs and you're kind of getting a little bit of a workout there. So you want to make sure that the space in the room is cleared away and that there's nobody else standing near you when you're doing your punching and your kicking. But it does have that a positive aspect that you're not just passively sitting there and watching a game, you're actually interacting with the game and getting some physical benefits out of the game too. So there are just a few games that are currently available. The ones I showed you, several of them are for Xbox, so you will have to have some kind of game system. They may be available for other systems as well to play them, except for the Civilization game, which I showed you, is this one is a PC version, so you can play that on your desktop or laptop computer. But that hopefully gives you a good roundup of a couple of things that you can do if you have kids that you really want to help them get a little bit more planning skills or physical activity in the day other than just gaming. We're looking for games that are have some benefits that are not going to be excessively violent. I think all of those are positive choices, and they're fun, and you get some benefit out of them too. So I hope you enjoyed the talk. Again, I'm Candice Hughes, CEO of AdapTac Games, neuroscientist, and mom of a kid with an ADHD.